Some friends and I have this running thought. Every person should have a house cocktail and know how to make it well. What is a house cocktail, you ask? From our standpoint, a house cocktail never has to be fancy or expensive or very in-depth, but rather something that is unique to your home, something you always have the ingredients for, so that anytime someone comes to visit, you have the option of pouring one of your specialty drinks. For my specialty, and for this technical speech, I will be showing you how to make one of my favorite whiskey cocktails, a spicy basil sour. For this, you'll need just a few ingredients, which I can show here. 2 ounces of your favorite whiskey, 1 ounce of lemon juice. I'm just using kind of pre-juiced lemon. 3 to 4 basil leaves, 3 to 4 jalapeno slices. Some simple syrup. You're going to need 3/4 of an ounce of simple syrup. We'll start by adding the whiskey and lemon juice to the shaker. I have this handy dandy little tool called a jigger. This is a 2 ounce side and a 1 ounce side, so it makes measuring these pretty simple. After the whiskey and lemon are in, I'm going to take a couple of the basil leaves. I'm going to take 3. Toss them into the cup here that I'm going to use as the shaker. And then I'm going to do 3 slices of jalapeno. I've removed the seeds just to make them a little bit easier too. Next I'm going to take the stirring spoon and just kind of push down the jalapeno and the basil into the lemon and the whiskey. Kind of breaks them up a little bit, lets them express some of their juice out, kind of add some of that flavor into the cocktail that we're having. After doing that for a little bit of time, we're going to lastly add the simple syrup. And for that I'm going to do about 3/4 of an ounce. So I'm going to take the small side and just not quite fill it up all the way. Now we've got all the ingredients together. I'm going to take the back side of my shaker, just full of ice, pour those in, cap them together, and I'm going to shake it until this outside of the shaker kind of gets a little bit of frosted on it. You can kind of see how this is a little bit frosty now. It's leaving fingerprints on it. Take the top off of that. Next I'm going to use this little strainer. Some people when they're making this drink will prefer to leave like the basil leaves and the jalapeno in the bottom of the glass when they're drinking it. Speaking from experience, I've accidentally swallowed a piece of the jalapeno before, and it's not the best feeling in the world, so I'm going to use this strainer to keep any of the actual like fruit or the vegetable, like the jalapeno and the basil, out of the glass. I'm just pouring this over ice into a rocks glass. And one of the extra basil leaves that I didn't put in the drink, I'm just going to put on top as a garnish. And there you go, spicy basil sour. Super, super simple, not too many sophisticated ingredients. Just a couple of things, like a few quick notes, tips on making this drink. Simple syrup is really easy to make. It's equal parts sugar and water, so if you're going to take a cup of water and bring it to a boil and then add a cup of sugar to it and cook it all the way down until all the sugar is dissolved, and that's going to be simple syrup. I just make mine at home. You can also pre-buy it. This keeps in the fridge pretty well, so you can kind of make a cup at a time and hold on to it for a while. Another thought too is if you want to completely skip the simple syrup, I've used just lemonade before, like an organic lemonade or something that's a little bit nicer than something that you would buy in the soda aisle. But leave out the lemon juice and leave out the simple syrup and just use an ounce or 2 of the lemonade. That totally works as well. Still tastes delicious. And then lastly, just another modification, some people don't like spicy, so this drink is very, very good. Leaving the jalapeno out as well. The basil and the lemon go together really well, and it's just like a really classic take on a whiskey sour. So cheers, hope you enjoyed my technical speech.